Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and this is going to be our second time recording this because somebody doesn't know how to press the record button. But I'm here with the one, the only Scratch, AK-47. Scratch Plays, I guess it is now, and it is such a pleasure having you on because you are... I honestly, I think you're one of the people I look up to in this game. You are as good as anybody when it comes to speed tuning, when it comes to building teams for any part of this game. You really have this on lock. So you are, I think, also my toughest competition in what we're going to be talking about today, the Clan Boss Draft, which we just held yesterday by the time we're recording this, and boy, it was an amazing time, really fun. Major thanks to everybody that came out to support. That was awesome. And this is kind of the big thing going on in the game right now, this Clan Boss Draft, and Scratch, along with Hell Hades, Cold Brew, and YST, joined me to draft teams. So thank you, man. Thanks for coming on today.
Absolutely. I mean, shots were fired. I couldn't stay away, so I had to jump in, you know. Definitely looking forward. It was tons of fun so far, so I am looking forward to Friday when we're gonna have the final reveal, because we picked our team, so that's kind of like what we're gonna cover. But we actually are here to talk mainly a bit about the draft and my team, since we already covered that with Jedi's team.
Absolutely.
But a lot of interesting stuff going on, guys. A lot of plots happening in there. A lot of things that we were not expecting, you know.
No, 100%. Yes, make sure to come by on Friday on stream. It'll be at my Twitch, Deadwood Jedi, twitch.tv/Deadwood Jedi. And we had like 1,500 people in there for the draft portion of this, so I'm excited to see how many of you guys show up for that final spot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to be giving away all of our gems that day. Everybody that participates is going to have gems to give away to their viewers. I'm probably just going to go ahead and give them away in stream. It seems like the best way to thank you guys for showing up. So we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a lot of fun. 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's where I'm at. That'd be 1 p.m. in New York. That'd be 6 p.m. in London, or 5 p.m. in UTC if you just want a universal time to coordinate that with. So it should be a lot of fun. Now, there has been some talk going on between the creators now that we've finally got our teams. We've been messing around a little bit with our squads here, and we did have to change one of the rules. Originally, we had the player power, which was kind of the limit for what anybody could build their team to at 300,000, which is a lot. But most of us have maxed grade halls. Not myself, but I know Scratch does. I know Cold Brew does. Hell Hades. And adding resistance does a lot to your player power. And so we wanted to definitely avoid, we want to make sure everybody could build a team. I had champions on my team that didn't have any jewelry. I know Scratch had the same thing going on. So we had to make some little adjustments to that. So we raised the player power to 350 for those traditional teams that are being run, and then 325 for the unkillable teams. And Scratch is the only other person with an unkillable team like myself, so we have a little bit of a handicap for that, but I think it's going to be just fine. And we actually get into that a little bit more if you guys want. We just did a video together, me and Scratch, so make sure to go by his channel and check that out. I'll have that link down below in the pinned comment, so you can go find that real easy, as well as his YouTube channel in general, which you should go sub. But I'm interested. I figured we could go through the top of the draft, and we go kind of a little bit almost pick by pick, but you can kind of give us some of your impressions, what you were thinking when you chose the champions that you did, because I know we started off pretty much not a lot of surprises, right? Brogni went first, Krisk went second, and then I took Demitha, and then Hell Hades took Lydia fourth. Any of those four picks kind of surprise you?
I was a bit surprised with Hell Hades jumping straight on Lydia there, but then I perfectly understand the whole reasoning behind it, He wanted to make sure he's going to be able to do a 2-to-1 ratio team.
Yeah.
I didn't thought that you might jump directly on Demira, honestly. I was like, maybe he's not going to get her. Maybe I'm going to get to pick her, But you were a bit faster there. And I'm not surprised with the YST. Like, I know his account is a bit more limited, and he had to pick the best option he had on his account, and that was Brogni. I knew he doesn't have a Valkyrie. I don't think he has a Krisk either. Then I knew Cold Brew has a Krisk, so seeing that Brogni was picked, I kind of expected Cold Brew to either go for that, either to try and do something different. Maybe I thought that maybe he might try to go for some sort of unkillable, But then I've seen clearly he got Krisk. That's out of the menu.
If I had Krisk available, I would have taken him too. Like that was a pretty much straightforward. That's the guy you got to take. And Brogdon was number 3 on my list as well. I have a Demitha, so I took Demitha. But yeah, so
Yeah.
you pretty expected what transpired in those first 4 then.
And I kind of had in mind like this, right? So when you're building a high defense team, that's going to take a lot of player power, right? You need survivability, you need damage in order to have all those champions to bring up big numbers, not only survive
Yeah.
100 turns and deal 50 million damage, because that's definitely not good. So it's going to build up a lot of team power. So I wanted to kind of stay a bit away. With Brogni as well, he's great and stuff, but again, since you don't manage to pair all the right champions in the team, I didn't thought that if I don't get Krisk, I'm gonna get Brogni, or if I don't get Valk, I'm gonna get Brogni, because does have a lot of resistance, man. Like his player power is gonna be too high, his power overall. And if I don't manage to puzzle the right team perfectly together with him, I feel like it's just not gonna benefit me as much. I'm not gonna throw out the big numbers that I would want to throw. So I decided to jump on Seeker directly, and then go on the unkillable way. I know I'm limited in a way with the damage that I can do. I cannot go and do 200 million plus damage just out of nowhere with that team, but I know that I can do more than people expect. So I kind of moved over and got Cernic as the second pick, just to make sure that nobody is gonna get any crazy ideas. I wasn't sure what else are people gonna try to pick up down the line, maybe just to mess up other people. And then I knew that I had to jump on my damage, since nobody was really gonna pick my last piece of the puzzle. And I took Ninja to have the defense down. Ninja for the DPS, sorry. Draco for the defense down and the weaken. Ninja can help with the defense down as well, but mainly I wanted to have them both covered. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about the existence of Jintoro during the whole process.
Oh yeah, sure. That was somebody I considered actually for some of my picks. Yeah. I mean, do you think that would have been a better choice?
I don't think so, honestly, because I would have had to give in a lot of toxic sets and stuff. I feel like going with different sets, Savage, Fury, is gonna benefit me more.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I see what you're doing. Oh man, yeah, Fury is a gear set I don't have in my account. A handful of pieces. Yeah. Okay, I see what's up. I see how it's going. Yeah, okay, all right. No, that's great. That's smart though. Like you had that plan already in place. You knew that you're going to be doing that kind of stuff. That makes it that much easier to actually prepare your team. Now, I'm surprised you took. I'll be honest. I was not surprised you took Seeker with one of your first 2 picks. That one I totally expected. I was shocked when you took Sir Nicholas with your second pick. It made sense. As soon as you did it, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh.
But, one of those.
Yeah. It was, shoot. Is what it was. But yeah, it made sense afterwards. But that was an interesting choice. And I know you're talking about the player power part of it. I don't know if you want... I don't know. What's that argument there between that unkillable version versus... a traditional team on this kind of a thing? Does it just come down to the player power, or
It's not just the player power. I mean, the problem was that everybody was fighting for those top champions. And yeah, you can make teams that survive till you get bored. You're gonna reach the turn limit. I've done that too, but I need all the key champions to make that team, and all those champions were spreading around. I knew that was going to happen. It was crystal clear that everybody's going to try and pick one. And you see the result. Like you see all their teams, how they ended up in being, right?
Yeah.
A big mixture. They're not really like focused on specific things. They're lacking damage. They're lacking the right support. They're lacking the right consistency. So I'm not that worried about those teams. I am more surprised about your team, for example, because I knew that if I'm going to eliminate Seeker from you, once you got the meta, I knew that was going to hold you back a lot. And if you're going to use a Deacon Armstrong, for example, you're not going to get to the numbers that But then you surprised me, so yeah, I'm a bit worried about your team.
Yeah. He's talking about my Runekeeper. If you guys actually want to know my thoughts on this, go check out Scratch's channel. We did a collab together right before this, and we talked about my team on there. So I don't want to spoil that one for people out there and get double dipping and stuff. So make sure to go check that video out. It's gonna be that one's fun. That one's fun. I'll actually have it linked down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. I'll have it in the pinned comment. But I was pretty happy with that was my champion in the bag, my pocket champion. But I mean, you had the same thing, right? Because you took Sir Nicholas, and then we're all thinking, well, okay, I could spoil it by taking Tower, but then still Warcaster's out there, right? So we all of us are just like, well, Scratch has his team in the bag. He doesn't have to worry about his 5th pick anymore. But I mean, did you have it in the bag? Was it in the bag?
I mean, it was in the bag. I know a lot of people in chat were like, Warcaster. Other people were like, oh, let's try to mess it up. But then I was like, with confidence, because you always got to express that confidence. Plenty of options out there, guys. So then everybody's like, well, I'm not going to pick Warcaster just to screw him because he has plenty of options out there. So let me just worry about my champion,
Mm-hmm.
So I got it in the bag, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a few different ideas though, but I could have always used the Skull Crusher to deal with the stun in a way or another, or even a Brachus. Brachus was a bit of a problem because I had Ninja. Was hard to make a 2-to-1 ratio, half him to get the stun and use Ninja in the same team. So that put me back a bit. And since I knew that, yeah, maybe I'm gonna get 5 million extra damage with Brachus in my team, right? Than with the other champion, or maybe 10 million damage. But it might be a struggle and it might not even work, So that really made me like, whoa. Take a chill pill, don't do it.
Yeah, that also limits you, right? Because now all of a sudden, if you're having someone tank the stun, that means you're really limiting your speeds that you can work. Because those 4-turn cooldowns means, you really want to get that 2-1 ratio. It's why you got Seeker in the first place. So you want to be able to stay unkillable for the full 50 turns. And, I did mess up recording this the first time. And so there was a huge shock to me because I thought for sure... I mean, I considered during the draft, maybe I should just spoil it. Maybe I should just take, Warcasters or, Rosh Guard the Tower and mess it up for you. I thought about it. I really did. But I figured you had both of them. And so, if I took one, you get the other one.
So you couldn't do it. So in the end, you gave up, right?
Yeah, in the end, I gave up. Yeah.
But you didn't knew that I actually don't have both of them till we were recording today, right?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
No, I didn't. Tricky devil. Keep an eye on this guy here, right? Like, you got to watch out for this one. Scratch here. Doesn't have I can't believe you don't have a tower on your account. You got everything.
I never managed to pull one. It's actually crazy.
That's insane.
On the account that it's on the test server, no.
That's just wild. That's wild. So, okay.
Cardiel the reader, because you could have created some different sort of crazy comps out there.
Even though
I wouldn't have swapped a Ninja for Cardiel or Draco for Cardiel, because it's not gonna bring me up the damage.
Right.
And the problem with him, I cannot tank him enough to be the stun target for 50 turns, because he doesn't have defense up. Yeah, it's no strengthen from him, so he would have died from the stun. So I couldn't have made something like that to work out,
I mean, I think if I had a Cardiel, that would have been my second pick, and I just would have figured out how to make it work, right? I don't know how, but I would have figured out how to make that work, because such an amazingly good champion for this stuff.
They help a lot with the power as well, because they give you the crit rate and the crit damage buff. So those champions are good. I think somebody picked the Ferrokin the Fat. So champions like this, they're amazing for these sort of teams,
That's a really good point, because the thing about player power, it's all about the resistance and the crit rate and the crit damage. Those are the things that bump you up. Yep. So if you can get that in somewhere else, like I'm loving having Mashald on my team, because I can get that crit damage buff for everybody, and it's it's just nice little extra on that. Just really, really good. I mean, I'm impressed with your team. So how do you plan on running this? This is going to be pretty traditional, kind of a war, like a Batman style team.
Yeah, kind of like a Batman style team. Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm gonna have somebody to tank me the stun with some improvements on them, and yeah.
Yeah, you and me got to hit that void. That's a key there, right?
Yeah, I actually, for some reason, I kind of like completely forgot about decreased speed on Spirit, and I was like so thinking, yeah, I'm gonna hit Spirit, I'm gonna destroy it, you know. But then I was like, oh shit, I actually have decreased speed. I gotta worry about it. I don't have a cleanser, so I cannot do that, you know.
Gonna be an
I was
issue.
like,
Gonna be an issue.
I'm happy actually because I don't need to. I don't need to spend hours and hours trying to find the Spirit Clan boss, you know. Even though they got lucky, and today we have a Spirit Clan boss.
That's right. Yeah, the other guys in the competition, they're all like looking for affinity. So it's definitely a different approach than what we're doing. And it's very interesting to see how it's all working out. I mean, there were so many tough choices in this, so many decisions that I thought were really interesting. You know, like I'll be honest, I didn't think you were going to take Draco. I was like, you won't need a Draco. Like, you'll go for somebody else. And I thought that was a really interesting choice. And I think for this team, could be really, really good, right? You're getting all those extra poisons out there, which is just a massive, massive boost to your damage. You know, I know you'd mentioned earlier, you know, thinking about Jintoro. Was there anybody else really in that slot that you were considering?
I thought about what's his name, Turvold as well. Because he's gonna bring me the weaken, Ninja's gonna bring me the defense down. They're not reliable enough, you know. So that could have been a bit of a problem because they're not reliable enough. And I wouldn't have had enough buffs for Turvold because it's gonna be very hard for me to allow him to get that increased speed. So that was a skill that I would have had to turn off, you know.
Yeah, that makes it harder. And then you're having to build him with 100% crit rate, and it takes away a lot of his utility there. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly, and drops me a lot of damage in the long run. I thought about a Lord Shazar as well, but that only if I was going to pair him with somebody that drops a lot of debuffs, and only have him to use the A1, you know?
You'd have to pair him with Draco. I mean, that would be the combo. And Lord Shazar, if people don't know, is an amazingly good damage dealer for Clan Boss, if you set it up right, because he does more damage based on the number of debuffs on the Clan Boss. And yeah, that's, you know what, that's so funny you mentioned him. It hadn't even crossed my mind as a possibility, and now I'm kind of kicking myself. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Maybe I should have taken Deacon. That would have been nice. Pair him and Turvold together. Get some damage going. That could have been fun.
It could have been pretty solid, yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, there's a lot of great champions out there. You know, I think everybody's sleeping on Varl the Destroyer. That's somebody that I really like.
I had him in mind as well, but I picked Ninja, so I knew that I got Ninja. I'm covered on that department. I forgot about Jintoro, honestly. I just completely forgot about his existence. But I don't regret it in taking Draco over him. You know, I would have had an attack aura from him. That would have been a great boost to damage.
True.
But I would have lost all the poisons, you know, and then I would have had to use a lot of toxic sets on the champions. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it now or there was the previous time when I was recording, but depending on what sets you want to use, you know, so that's why I kind of like stayed away from him.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I'm having to use toxic sets in my team because I just don't have any poisons on it. I didn't think I would miss Eris as much as I do, but I really do, because one toxic set is not enough for my team, strangely enough. Well, cool. Scratch, thank you so much for coming by, man. This was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the insight and how you went about this. I think you really took this seriously, and, you know, you came in with a plan. And I feel like that's the biggest thing you can do for any kind of fantasy draft like this, is coming in with a plan, and you executed it beautifully. I
haven't came in with a plan.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You knew you were going to try and do that unkillable thing. You knew what you were going to do.
I knew I was going to drop a Seeker or a Demeter first. That's what I knew.
Yeah, see? You had an idea. You had a plan. You know what was going to happen.
Half a plan.
See, here's the thing. I can't believe anything you say anymore. You know, I just can't believe it anymore. I never know.
Why not?
Because
I never said that I have a Roche card or anything like that.
Yeah, but you didn't even let on that that might be an issue. Like, I like how you do it. You keep things close to the vest. It's the kind of competition I like to see. But I'm really excited to see who's going to win this thing. I think I'll be honest. Like, my money's either going to be. I think my money's probably on you. I think definitely.
My money are a bit on you because you have 3 DPSs, so that's a bit concerning.
It's going to be. I think the two of us are probably the front runners right now, but it'll be interesting to see because, you know, I'll be honest.
We might be in for a surprise, you know, and we got to make sure we're not cocky, you know.
There's some counterattacks going on in those other teams, and boy, Brogni and Taragi and Geomancer makes for a scary trio. So, like, I think all these teams have a lot of potential to them. It's going to be real interesting to see how they turn out. But we're going to be doing more of these interviews all week, trying to talk to everybody here. And so, Scratch, thanks again for coming by. Make sure to go sub at his YouTube. I'll have that link down below, along with the video, the collab that we did together. So make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yes, thank you. Yes, subscribe here too.
Code Scratch, yeah.
What did I say?
No, I said Code Scratch. Use Code Scratch.
Shut no. We're not playing any music in this video today, but if you like the music I do play, Soundstripe link is down below. Don't use Code Scratch. Use code Deadwood Jedi.
Code Scratch.
Guys, thanks so much for coming by. Till next we meet on the Deadwood Jedi.